in the midst of discussing a whole bunch of laws of mourners, we have Rav Yehuda bringing a teaching in the name of Rav. The one who finds a mixture of wool and linen in his garments while he's in the marketplace, he takes his garment off at once, not giving regard for, oh, but I'm naked. Just rip it all off. And how do we know this? Because it says in scripture, Proverbs, there is ein chochma ve'ein tfuna ve'ein eitzel neged Hashem. There's no wisdom or understanding or counsel when weighed against God. So it's understood as meaning whenever there's a threat of a desecration of God's name, you don't worry about giving respect to someone with wisdom or understanding, to sages. So even though it might be a bit of a disgrace to the person involved to tear his garment off, it's much more of a disgrace to the Lord Almighty. Okay, mitzvah, they challenge it, okay, and then they have a situation where a funeral party is leaving the cemetery, and there are two roads, a pure one and impure one. So they say if the mourner goes the pure way, everyone goes the pure way with him to escort him. If he goes the impure way, everyone goes the impure way to escort him. The presumption is that there are kohanim, there are priests in the entourage that need to stay, that are commanded to not contaminate themselves by contact with the dead. So how could they take the impure road with him? Clearly, this honor due to him, this is more important than the law in this case, and why is that? Why would the Berachos say this? Because, as you said, there's no wisdom or understanding or counsel against Hashem. Okay. So Rabbi Abba interpreted that as referring to a beis hapras. So beis hapras is what's a beis hapras? A beis hapras is a field. It used to be a cemetery, and then it was plowed over, and the rabbis are afraid that maybe a tiny piece of bone got moved around by the plowing process and could be anywhere in the field, so the entire field is considered a bit dubious. You don't want to be walking on that if you're a Kohen, fine. But according to the Torah, we wouldn't worry about such a thing. So we're just it's just a beis hapras. We're just worried about our worry is entirely rabbinic. Okay. And therefore, in this matter, we could, even a Kohen would follow him, because we would leave aside the rabbinic rule in order to show respect to the mourner. You got a couple of proofs. That's what Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel, that a man can blow on the beis hapras as he walks, and that'll be fine. That'll be enough to render it pure. And Rabbi Yehuda bar Ashi said in the name of Rav that a beis hapras was trampled upon by many people who seemed to be tahor. And these sort of leniencies you wouldn't have if it were a biblical prohibition. Therefore, we can be a bit flexible with that sort of thing. Okay, there's more challenges back and forth. One of them, this is really lovely. Rav Elazar ben Tzadok said, I believe a priest, maybe even. Yep, he was a priest. He said, Rav Elazar bar Tzadok, he said, we would clamber over coffins of dead to greet the kings of Israel. And not only did they say to greet the kings of Israel, but even to greet Gentile kings. So if you merit, he will be able to discern between the kings of Israel and the Gentile kings. And again, we bring the same verse. Wait a second, why you're a Kohen? You can't be clambering over coffins. There's no wisdom or understanding or counsel against Hashem. But actually, according to biblical law, if there's a roof over a corpse, and between the roof and the corpse is at least a tefach, about the size of a fist, then the roof, the air between the roof and the corpse plus the roof counts as enough of a barrier that one doesn't contract impurity that way, no tumah. So most coffins have that. They have that fist worth of leeway, so they don't. So a Kohen can actually clamber on a coffin in principle. The rabbis forbade it because that out of concern lest someone clamber on a coffin that doesn't. Okay, and then one more challenge to Rav's teaching. Toshma, come in here. Gadol Kavod Habrius. Great is the honor due to the honor of creation, of human dignity. Shedoiche es loy ta'aseh shebetera. Rather, the Toshma coming here. Gadol Kavod Habrius. Great is the honor of creatures, so human dignity. Shedoiche et loy ta'aseh shebetera. That it supersedes even a loy ta'aseh, do not do of the Torah. Supersedes even a negative commandment of the Torah. V'amai, and why? Lema, we should say, ein chachma ve'ein tenuva ve'ein eitzah neged Hashem. There's no wisdom or understanding or counsel against Hashem that can be weighed against the honor of God. So Rav Bashab before Rav Kana interpreted the Berachos as referring to the prohibition, you shall not deviate from the matter of the rabbis. That's the do not do. Don't deviate from the teaching of the rabbi. And it's this prohibition that is overruled. And they laughed at it. They say that the prohibition of you shall not deviate is biblical. And Rav Kahana said to them, when a great man says something, you should not laugh at it. For the rabbis based all their rabbinical acts on the negative commandment of you shall not deviate. And the rabbis themselves allowed all rabbinic decrees to be waived for the sake of human dignity. Good. May we merit to always be vehicles of greater and greater human dignity, and may we be dignified by the ultimate redemption speedily. Chassidish Chalems.